Hello, everybody. Hello to all of our Satellite 2025 community members, attendees, exhibitors, sponsors, everybody in our industry. My name is Jeffrey Hill. I'm the executive chair of the Satellite Show, and here I am with today Rafferty Jackson, our director of our Startup Space Entrepreneur Pitch Contest, which is now in its ninth year, right? Ninth year. The picture you were looking at here is a picture of my predecessor, Scott Chase, during the 2020 Startup Space competition with our winner from Traxel. That was a competition that was the last before the pandemic. But what made Daniel's pitch unique was that he was building his own tractors to lay down fiber under asphalt.
And on top of asphalt, even, right?
Yeah,
he's painting it straight onto the road.
And Daniel is a winner among more than 10 entrepreneurs. That includes companies like Leo Labs, Astrapi, Orbit Fab, and our competition has hosted now more than 100 companies. Some are some of the leading companies in their markets already. And we're excited today to share our 10 finalists for the Satellite 2025 Startup Space Competition. And Rafferty, we've been working on this since the very beginning. Looking forward to working with you again. Let's start with the judges we have for the competition. It will be watching the pitches. So you want to walk us through?
Yeah, the exciting thing about changes we've made to the competition over the years is that we've changed from the judges being industry to the judges being actual VCs that are investing in early stage companies. So these are the active investors that have been building this economy since probably 2018. I think Seraphim probably, besides Dr. Perez at Lockheed Martin, which is a corporate venture capitalist. So she sits inside Lockheed Martin making investments. Obviously, they've been doing that a long time. But Seraphim's been around, I think, since 2017. So when you look at the panel of the judges here, these are all people that are on funds that are currently deploying capital into the space economy and into aerospace, in particular to early stage, which means companies that are often 1 to 10 people. Maybe they have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 of a capital runway, probably through a grant of some sort, maybe even a SBIR for the military. And that expertise has really helped us make the competition much more lively and compelling when you come and watch the show. You're actually seeing decision makers hone in on what the critical issue is that startup is facing. So you'll see, one startup will be asked very directly about maybe the size of the market. Another startup will be hit very hard with how are you going to go to market and who are your customers. So you're seeing a really great, lively panel. And this year we have another great group. Everybody here has now done this for the last few years. So they have a lot of experience in it, and we're excited to have everybody back.
Absolutely. And, our competitors don't know which judges they're going to pitch in front of yet. And we will post that when we get very close to the show, because we don't want competitors preparing for specific judges. We also have to make sure that our judges have no conflicts of interest with the competitors that they'll be ranking. Before we move on to the competitors, I just want to remind everybody, so Startup Space is a one-day competition. We have 10 finalists that we split up into 2 groups. During the competition, each competitor gets 5 minutes to pitch their startup. Most are seeking seed funding. Some might be seeking, a little bit beyond seed funding, maybe Series A. But they'll all be pitching a very specific ask to these investors. They have 5 minutes to do that, and then following their pitch, the judges have 5 minutes to ask them questions. And after they are finished with that 10-minute pitch and Q&A, the judges rank them based on their presentation and how they address their questions and concerns. They're ranked by investor value for investors. They're ranked by the innovative quality of their products, the delivery of their pitch, and so on and so forth. So Rafferty and whoever has the highest combined score, before we jump into the competitors, whoever has the highest combined score is the winner of the competition. And we announced that at the Wednesday awards luncheon at Satellite 2025, which is also right in the middle of our new investor forum program at Satellite 2025. So the competition's on Tuesday, right after the opening general session, and then the winners are announced on Wednesday. And the winner receives guaranteed private pitch meetings with these investors, as well as the ability to compete at the World Satellite Business Week competition in Paris, as well as some other prizes that we'll announce throughout the year as we get sponsors in for the competition. Our main competition sponsor this year is Sky Perfect JSAT, a very, very strong supporter of this competition this year. We've been working with Issei Suzuki from JSAT this year. He was one of the advisors that evaluated applications. He'll be talking about JSAT's investment in the startup community at the competition. So we really thank them, and we thank JSAT, and we thank Issei for their contributions to the competition.
Yeah. And one of the fun things about the pitch competition at Satellite that makes it different and compelling to come participate in is that it's an actual pitch competition. So the only thing that the judges can grade is the 5-minute pitch and the 5-minute answer. So even if the judges have interacted with the startup before, have seen the startup somewhere, they table all that to the side and they only look at that pitch. And that's what makes that day more exciting than a lot of competitions where you see that there will be a pre-run up to the competition where things are already judged on innovation, and there's a lot of other work. We actually do that in the selection. So we take care of that heavy lift in the selection. So at the day of the competition, it's really a chance for the startup to have 5 uninterrupted minutes to tell their story to the judges, but also to the industry. This is their chance to talk to, future customers, future employees, future partners. This is their chance to, start into the industry, and we try to make it, a really big opportunity for them to swing the bat. And we try to prepare them to get up there and get ready to hit it out of the park.
Awesome. All right, Rafferty, let's walk through the competitors this year. Let's meet our 10 finalists. So let's start with the first one.
This one's exciting because this is the first time we've had this category, right? Oh, no, Jeffrey, we have the woman with the helmet, maybe.
But we haven't done health services.
We haven't done health services. So this is a whole new category. So it's in space economy, space infrastructure, but in particular, we called this human performance. So this is Avanova, and they're bringing technology that will help fight combat for motion sickness, vertigo, and disorientation. This is going to be an issue for anybody doing space travel or high altitude travel. Full stop. This will be an issue, especially as non-military personnel start to access space. So this kind of delivery of a technology that will be critical. It's really exciting to have this coming to the stage.
Yeah. And fun fact, as a student, Noor Haj Tamina, the founder of Avanova, was a moderator at a satellite show last year. So it was really cool to see her then come back with her own business. All right, let's. Who's next?
Up next is Ensemble Space Labs. This is an issue that everybody's been looking at for a long time. So it's space weather intelligence. There's a lot of other technologies out there, but this one in particular really drew us in because it's looking for a traditional software service that is more amenable to anybody using it, commercial or military. So a little bit easier access to space weather intelligence, so you can be protecting your vehicles, your people, your assets, your timing.
All right, who's next?
Is this, I don't know how you say it. Is it Git AI or Gitai? Do you know?
Gitai.
So Gitai, this company is a little bit more advanced than we usually have coming to the stage. But boy, when we saw everything that they've been working on and how important this technology has become, we were really excited to bring them. They're located in Torrance, California, which is actually near my hometown, but they are based out of Japan. So this technology coming over here and basing itself in the US and then starting to make this big launch. Most of us know them because they're really working hard on being the robotics to do the labor that will be in space infrastructure. So I think one theme, Jeffrey, that you and I talked about is this year we've seen more companies in the market segment of in-space economy, space infrastructure than we've seen in any other years. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that, we're seeing, I think people see the major primes as sort of, they see that market as crowded. There's a lot of people who are looking for technology partners, looking for add-on applications, looking for add-on technologies. And that's where they see the ability to kind of jump in here, start a business with an immediate return on investment instead of having to okay, I've got this concept for a prime contract, whether I'm an operator or manufacturer. I've got this concept and I need money now to build the company so that in 5 years I can make money. It's not realistic. Investors are asking for more immediate return on investment, and they also see, I think startups see the progress that some of these prime contractors are making. So they're fine-tuning their companies to enable applications that are already in the pipeline, so that if they want to do something and grow and become like a full stack company in the future, they've at least established a profitable business to build off of. Right. So I think it's more the state of the overall industry, the amount of money that is the market size that primes are competing for, and their ability to turn around a quicker profit with a specific technology component.
Right. I think the other thing that you and I have talked about is when we first started, it was all rockets, right? It was the beginning of the industry. Now that we're 9 years in, so you're starting to see the long tail now of rockets. We're not seeing that many systems for anymore, right? Because a lot of those systems are already getting funded, getting going and up. And we're starting to see the beginning of, because the companies taking this stage are still 3, 5, 7, 9 year builds, right? They're still very early in the build of what they're making. So you're seeing the companies that will be the big companies, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now. So that's why I think you're also seeing the push towards the actual in-space economy as well. This one is exciting.
And just to add to that, when we first started, we saw a lot of people pitching constellations, right? Because the and this was actually a little bit before SpaceX revealed Starlink. So there was this kind of excitement about low Earth orbit. And then as soon as, big operators and companies like SpaceX and Amazon and Telesat and everybody and OneWeb, they are all announcing constellations,
Apple with Globalstar
to break through that market. But I will say, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more rocket companies in the future. I mean, look at Impulse Space as an example. Right. I think we're going to see that market. There's still more of a demand for it and for a variety of launchers. So I expect we'll go back and see more launchers. Let's go to our next competitor.
Yep. So this is MagmaSpace. MagmaSpace is making a really interesting subcomponent. So I just saw Alessandro pitching at the Incubate to Accelerate event out here at SpaceWorks. It's magnetic bearing design for making your satellite much more stable. But what's really interesting is the design itself is taking the energy output of the magnetic bearing design, so the rotation that's happening in there, and turning that into power. So the component itself is starting to become a more integral part of the system than just a subcomponent. Watching him pitch just a couple months ago at Incubate to Accelerate was a very different pitch than I saw the year prior at Techstar Space. So as his technology has developed, he's really starting to develop a much more comprehensive solution for a few problems in the satellite. And I'm excited to see what it looks like by the time we get to March.
Excellent. Next competitor?
I am not familiar with the next competitor. This is one of the exciting things we have about our partnership. Why don't you talk about this next competitor, Jeffrey?
Sure. Well, Jordan and Odysseus Space, they were the winners of the pitch contest at World Satellite Business Week in Paris That's MagmaSpace's industry event in Paris this past September. So Jordan was the winner of that competition, and whoever wins their competition is invited to pitch at ours. So it's, in this way, let's say one company keeps winning, they get a chance to continue pitching until they're able to, get that kind of funding that they need. So like I think last year, Pale Blue was competing in ours, and then they won the World Satellite Business Week in Paris. Then they came back and competed in 2024. So Jordan won the competition in this year, and will be competing in 2025.
Yeah, and we're really lucky because it's a laser comms company, and as we all know, that's a technology that everybody is always keen to know. What are you doing differently? We know that there's solutions out there, but we need to know there's some bottlenecks to the technology. So I'm excited to hear them come to the stage and explain what have they come up with in particular that's going to solve the space to ground laser communication bottleneck, because we know that will be massive. Absolutely.
Next competitor?
I'm going to say Paramium. Hopefully I've got that right. If you know me, you know I'm a sucker for ground terminals and antennas. So I was really excited about this. They're bringing a ground station as a service is their big idea. And they're going to try to attack the part of the market that is a bottleneck because you're stuck in a particular location. They're going to try to free that up through a SaaS model to be able to still have the connectivity that you need at the ground station, but with more freedom and flexibility of the location through a SaaS technology. So I'm excited to hear their story.
Absolutely, a growing amount of SaaS companies, not just providing a product as a service. It includes full management, so you don't have to manage the product. Very, very smart. Next competitor?
Femitron. So Femitron, we're excited to have because one of their main markets is Africa. And this company is coming out of Africa as well as Japan and the United States. So it's 3 different geolocations that have come together. And they're trying to do the intelligent CubeSat for mass manufacturing. So sort of a holy grail in the smaller satellite. And so the promise will be, can they actually stick to the roadmap of making it one size fits all and actually make it a satellite that will deliver on faster capabilities to get more people's ideas to space quicker? As we know in the past, we've had a lot of people claiming they're going to make a universal bus, a universal satellite, and it always seems to get derailed into bespoke long lead times. And we're really hoping somebody kind of cracks that magic in the CubeSat and even in the mid-size to say, we've got small, medium, large, pick the one you want. Here's the capabilities it has, put your payload on it, and we can get you up in 3 months, 6 months, those kinds of timelines so we can get more research done. Besides research and development, more demo missions done. One of the bottlenecks for getting startups going is that they can't get their demo mission up because it takes too long and they've run out of money before they can even get to the demo mission. So hopefully this will be one of the many companies that could help us enable as well the space economy. And besides the fact that they're going into specific markets we know need servicing, like Africa, and it's an African company that's servicing.
Excellent. Let's see who's next.
Planetary Systems AI. So if you've been following them, they've recently had a lot of traction. So last year we had an AI company. I think that was probably the first one that came to the stage, Space out of the UK. And this is Planetary Systems AI. And they're going to bring, AI and machine learning to do basically the digital spaceports. And I think they're going to be tackling a lot of other things. So I'm a little bit hesitant to say what all they're going to end up saying they're going to do by the time they hit March, because I know they're still sort of looking at the business case, but I know the first thing they're really looking at is that digital spaceport, digital twins, and trying to increase the reliability of engineering more quickly than in the current lead times it's taking to get some of these mechanical hardware up and going.
Yeah, sometimes it's exciting to pick a company that's still developing their business case in this process, because for those of you who don't know, we also do pitch coaching throughout this process. So like Rafferty will work with each of these competitors to do like pitch workshops. And in some cases, like, we'll bring in people who can maybe help like refine, like, this is the information you need to put in the pitch. And sometimes we see those business cases evolve over that process, especially when they consider where they're pitching. Like at Satellite, if you have government business, this is the place to do it. So next competitor?
Next competitor up is Space Map. So they're from Korea. Again, excited to see these real-time software decision-making platforms starting to come online. They're doing a catalog of debris, but they're also going to, in addition to the debris, so you understand what's around you, they're building out software that would help you be able to manage whatever that situation is. So I'm excited to see what they have to say. In particular, they're very keen to talk about the fact that they're tackling latency. So they're going to be using some sort of a technology when they're talking about their pitch on the software side that is also probably the downlink, I'm assuming, as well, to how they're going to be able to get into latency so you can get a real-time read of what's around your vehicle and if you have a situation or not.
And Space Map, I believe, is our first competitor from Korea, which is interesting.
Oh.
We've had Taiwan, we've had Taiwan, Japan, but Korea, we have not had a competitor from Korea. So this is our first company, which we're really excited about to get that geographic diversity into the competition. Who is next?
This is our last competitor. Mm-hmm. So this is Think Orbital. Think Orbital has come straight out of the United States Space Force. They, in particular, are going to try to build the in-space manufacturing tools. So welding is the first big tool that they're working on. This is retired Colonel Lee Rosen has started this company. People like John Shaw, who just left the Space Force, is on his board. So these are issues they saw in particular. So space R&D and manufacturing. There's been a lot of talk about extension of life, right? We've had Arcasys on our stage, which is a platform that's going to extend life for satellites. This is getting down to the tactical in-space repairing. So the welding, the problem supports, all those other assembly pieces, and they're already working on the welding side of it. And I think by the time they hit the stage, they might have some pretty interesting pictures they'll be able to put up of the technology actually in use.
Well, thank you so much, Rafferty, for giving us a preview of our competitors. And for those of you who are not familiar with the competition, as I said, it takes place Tuesday at Satellite 2025. It's in the Exhibit Hall Unveiled Theater. That's the big theater right in the middle of the exhibit hall. All attendees are welcome to attend and watch the competition. We usually get a ton of investors that come there and literally park in those seats all day and take notes. And it's usually like by the time we get started, it is standing room.
Standing room only. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want a seat, come early. You need to come early and put yourself down on the seat. Otherwise, you'll be standing for the whole competition.
If you're interested in being a competition supporter or even a prize sponsor, we're still looking for partners. So feel free to reach out to us and let us know through our website, through the satshow.com website and the email contacts there to inquire about those. We do get those inquiries and we'll reach back out to you. But other than that, congratulations to our 10 finalists. We look forward to having them compete in March. And until then, see you until the next time.
See you on the stage.